Hello everyone. It has been a while now since I last showcased something on this channel. But yeah, today I'm going to be showcasing another Wi-Fi match, obviously, as I do a lot of the time in my channel. But anyway, so this match, yeah, it's going to be a continuation of the PAC League, obviously. This is going to be my week 4 match for the PAC League, and I actually forgot who my opponent was in this match, and as well as the team that they were representing, but I'll just put it in the title, obviously. It has been a few months since I last did these matches, so I'm just showcasing them now because, you know, I kind of don't want them to go to waste, and the new generation for Pokemon is coming very, very soon, so I kind of want to get these matches out of the way before anything, so yeah, bear with me. And hopefully everything goes according to plan and whatnot, so yeah. Anyways, so Michael, okay, so that's his name in the game at least. The team that we're using, I hopefully have it prepared right here. Hopefully it's this one right here, because if it's not, then obviously that's just unfortunate. Anyway, those are the teams. I actually don't remember what I was preparing for here, I'll be honest with you, because usually I tend to try to prepare for all sorts of things, but not everything gets covered, obviously, because again, my preparation skills are not on point exactly. So yeah, but looking at this team, I want to believe that I led with maybe the Hitmontop. Actually, no, maybe the Nidoking, actually. I don't remember if this Nidoking had rocks or not. If it did, then that means I led with it. If it didn't, then maybe not, I don't know. I also don't remember if this Hitmontop was Technician or not. Probably not, it might have been Intimidate. Yeah, actually, I think that thing was Intimidate. Yeah, it was Intimidate, actually. And seeing as I lead with it, something tells me that maybe, just maybe, I went for it like as a lead because I was anticipating the Donphan to come in and set up Stealth Rocks, question mark. He does lead with the fat ass though, so obviously, you know, this isn't good for me, obviously. This lead is not very good for me, obviously. So I have to switch out, obviously. I think I'm gonna go out into the Slowking. I'm already forgetting what the name of these mons are. I'm telling you, bro. As soon as I stop playing Pokemon for a while, I just get kind of like lost and I kind of forget a bunch of stuff. But anyway, so goes for the Thunder Wave, which is actually not what I was anticipating, but I think it's better than anything else that I have on my team. If this Thunder Wave landed on Weavile, which was some mon that I was considering to switch in, then obviously that wouldn't have been pretty bad for me, so getting it on Soaking is better anyway. But the only bad thing here is that he has Charge Beam, which does have a 70% chance to raise special attack if I remember correctly. And if that happens and I get paralyzed like I did right there, then this is just giving this Grumpig a free setup, and I kind of don't want that. But obviously, if I switch around, there's a very good chance he goes for Thunder Wave again, and I don't know the set of this Grumpig, so I might actually want to, you know, think carefully before I actually make any sort of change. I think what I did here was actually just straight up go for the Skull though, because I wanted to see how much damage I can get on this Grumpig. If it's, you know, like if it's anything very significant, I might not want to switch out whatsoever. He does go for Psychic here, so I'm not sure if he was predicting me to switch out into something, but or he just wanted to get damage. But he did, and he got the Spadef drop, so this is just making things worse for me because he's currently at +1 with the special attack because of the Charge Beam. I was gonna call it Wild Charge. I don't know why the hell I'm calling it Wild Charge when it's Charge Beam, damn it. It's because a lot of the names sound interchangeable for me for some reason. But bear with me. So, okay, here, I think here I was considering the switch out, but because this Slowking kept getting paralyzed, because my luck is obviously not there, obviously. It's still pretty much all over the place. Here, goes for another Charge Beam. It's obviously doing a lot of damage thanks to the Spadef drop and the +1 that this guy has. I finally go for the Skull, and this kind of does very little, honestly. So I think here, around here, I might actually make the radical play and go straight into Weavile. Yeah, that's looking to be the case here. And I just had to hope for goodness sakes he doesn't go for another Thunder Wave. Given how low I was in HP right here, something tells me that I probably wasn't, like, he wasn't going to go for it again, obviously, so I feel like maybe making this play would be necessary, because otherwise he's just going to get my Slowking for free. This Slowking has Regenerator, so I need to abuse it, obviously, otherwise why the hell am I even bringing it, you know? So obviously, this was a risky play, but thankfully it paid off right here, because I do believe he does go for the Psychic here. It was either that or Charge Beam, honestly. But it's one of the two. Yeah, he does go for Psychic, and thankfully, I take no damage, thankfully. However, I still don't know what the set for this thing is, so obviously I have to basically risk it for the biscuit and go for Throat Chop, and if it does have what I think it has, then obviously I might have to actually hope it kills, because if it doesn't, then obviously I might get hit with another Charge Beam and take unnecessary damage. And with Weavile, because of how frail this thing is, you usually don't want it to take a lot of damage, because if it does, then obviously it doesn't end well for you in the long run. Or at least for Weavile anyway. But anyway, so thankfully it did have the freaking, the Cobra Berry, I think is what it was called. But it was thankfully still enough to take out the Grumpig, thanks to the expert build that I have on this Weavile. However, he's now going to send in the Arcanine, obviously, and the Arcanine is actually, yeah, because it has Intimidate, obviously it forces me to switch out, so I think here I decide to switch into the Quagsire, actually. If it's not the Quagsire, it's definitely the Hitmontop, but I think it was the Quagsire. Yeah, it was the Quagsire. Because, I mean, what's this thing gonna do to Quagsire? I mean, it could have Solar Beam with Power Herb, but I don't think he's gonna carry it, honestly. However, this Sunny Day made me realize that, you know what, maybe it does, because otherwise, why else would he have Sunny Day? I mean, Sunny Day can also just be to raise the power of fire moves, but usually they have to carry Solar Beam, honestly. So because of the Sunny Day, obviously this immediately told me that this guy probably has Solar Beam, so I decided to make yet another risky play and actually go straight into Crobat. Which, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. Either way, thankfully, he does end up going for the Solar Beam, so obviously this ends up working out for me. However, here, now I have to come up with what I want to do, because I could just go for the Brave Bird on this thing. No attack drop after all. But there's a very critical chance that I lose Crobat right away afterwards. Whether because I'm going to get Flare Blitz to death, or maybe Flamethrower, Fire Blast, I don't know. But there was definitely a fire move coming here. If not Rock Slide, but why wouldn't he go for a fire move, honestly, given that the sun is up, you know? But yeah, I end up going for the Brave Bird ultimately, just to get as much damage as possible. For some reason, I was expecting the Flare Blitz, and if he went for it, he would have and took me out, he would have gotten recoil damage and might have even taken himself out. But he does have the Flamethrower, so Crobat goes down without it taking additional damage, you know? Which does suck for me, at least. However, I am gonna now go, I think I go into Nidoking, because I want to believe that I can actually take at least one of these freaking Flamethrowers. Oh, no, never mind, I'm a liar, actually. It was actually Weavile I sent out, which, again, is risky, but it's because, dude, this guy's putting me in a lot of risky situations, obviously. So, yeah, okay, so here I just go for Throat Chop, obviously, and I have to hope he actually either switches out or this actually takes it out, because if it doesn't take it out, obviously, that can put me in a serious situation, and I kind of don't want that, obviously. But yeah, Throat Chop it is. Thankfully it is enough to take it out, so no shenanigans from this Arcanine, as we all saw. So now we have to see what he's gonna send out, which I don't remember, because again, it's been months since this match happened. The reason I'm showcasing it is because I kind of don't want this match to go to waste. But he is going to go into the Venusaur, which is, again, scary, because this could be a chlorophyll-ing Venusaur, so obviously I need to think about what I want to send out now. I think here I end up going into Hitmontop, actually, because I kind of don't want to take the... I think here, actually, I actually thought that this thing still had Weather Ball, actually, hilariously enough. Which I don't think he'd even get. Like, I know he gets it in Sword and Shield, but I don't think he gets it in this game, actually. So, but I think because I thought it did, I switched out Weavile and went into Quagsire, expecting the Weather Ball. And I think I wanted to, like, make it go for Weather Ball, then switch into, I believe, Hitmontop to take an Energy Ball or a Giga Drain. I don't remember actually what move I was expecting, but definitely a Grass move. So, yeah. Here he goes for the rock smash, which I actually wasn't expecting. Like I said before, I kind of thought it was the weather ball, but it wasn't. So here, okay, so here definitely I go into the Hitmontop, because obviously switching in Nidoking is probably a bad idea, especially because I don't know how much the energy ball would do, or the Giga Drain, honestly. Like, because he could have Giga Drain or energy ball, or even both, honestly. Because, you know, energy ball is more powerful, and Giga Drain not as powerful, but it can function as a means of recovery, basically. But obviously I'm gonna switch out the Quagsire here nonetheless, and or not the Quagsire, the Slowking. I do go for the he goes for the energy ball, and this does take me out. Okay, so I guess what happened here was that I actually decided to sack Slowking if it ends up taking me out, which it does, obviously. Like, even if I survived it, it would have been a 2-hit KO. I don't outspeed it since I'm paralyzed and I'm naturally slower. I think I sacked it in that sense then. I'm telling you, bro, I have a hard time remembering. I could have sworn I sent in the Hitmontop, but I actually do, but it's just not all willy-nilly, because I wasn't sure of how powerful this thing was. So I wanted to send it in without, you know, without it taking any damage, I guess. But here I'm just gonna go for the Aerial Ace just to see how much this does. As soon as I go for the Aerial Ace here, the plan is to go for a Stone Edge afterwards, because I feel like as soon as he sees the Aerial Ace, if it does more than half, he's gonna definitely want to switch it out, and probably to something that resists it, which in this case would be the Zapdos, obviously. But yeah, this energy ball does do a fair amount, that if I switched in Hitmontop, that probably would have been bad for me, honestly. It would have put me in red, and then I wouldn't be able to do much afterwards. And if he switched around with the Zapdos, he might have even taken me out with Zapdos, actually. So thank goodness what I said earlier about me going into Hitmontop like on a switch in was actually wrong, because if it was right, then obviously I'd be in a much tighter situation, obviously. But thankfully that wasn't the case. Now this Zapdos, I go for the Stone Edge, like I said, but unfortunately I miss because my luck is still terrible, obviously. So obviously, me being, you know, the somewhat stubborn individual that I can be sometimes, I just decided to go for it again, even if this thing has like something like Drill Peck or something. I wasn't sure if this thing had Aerial Ace. It's because unfortunately I didn't do a lot of research on a lot of these mods when I was preparing for this guy. Reason being was because this was in a time when I was getting kind of like lazy with the league, but I did have to like rush a lot of my preparations, so which kind of caused me to overlook a bunch of things that each of my opponent's Pokemon could possibly have. So yeah, but yeah, either way, I was still kind of like fairly healthy, so I decided to just see if I can take a Drill Peck if he has it, or an Air Slash if he has it. But I don't even think this thing even gets Air Slash. I don't think this thing gets Hurricane or Air Slash or any of those fancy special attacking flying type moves. But yeah, anyways, he just goes for the U-turn, so I don't know what he's gonna send out, but this Stone Edge, I'm just hoping it lands so that it at least gets some damage on whatever he decides to send in. He sends out this Venusaur again, which I didn't pay attention to my moveset, and I didn't see if I actually had Mach Punch on this thing, but I do land the Stone Edge this time, and I do get a crit. I don't know if it mattered or not, but I'm just glad that they took out the Venusaur at the end of the day. Get some lefties in the process, so I'm getting some passive recovery. This is why I slapped leftovers on this Hitmontop, because I figured this thing is a fair hard hitter and can definitely force some switch-ins, and while my opponents are switching around, they can actually get some passive recovery, you know. But he's just gonna bring back the Zapdos again, and here I was thinking if I should switch out or not, because I could in a way switch into Nidoking just to resist whatever flying type move this thing could have. I mean, it doesn't resist it, but like I feel like it could take it probably better than Hitmontop could. I ultimately decided to go into the Zapdos because, or not the Zapdos, the Quagsire, damn it. He has Zapdos, I don't have Zapdos. Yeah, I went into Quag because in this game, there is no hidden power grass, so I don't have to worry about that. And it doesn't get Toxic either, because, you know, Toxic is also, for some reason, a move that you can't really teach to all Pokemon like you could in previous generations. For some reason, Quagsire can actually get Toxic, though, hilariously enough, even though this thing is not a poison type either, honestly. So, yeah, it's one of the reasons why I drafted Quagsire in the first place, was because it actually is one of the few mons that can still learn Toxic, even though it's not a poison type. But yeah. Anyways, with this Zapdos Toxic, if this is like one of those roosting sets, it's definitely going to be put on a timer, so it's bound to go down at some point. But here, I think my opponent was like thinking what he wanted to do actually. And frankly, I don't remember what he did honestly. So from the looks of it, he does stay in and just drill pick a few more times. I go for the Ice Beam. He reveals that he has a Yachi Berry, so good to know that he doesn't have leftovers, even though I kind of should have seen that coming after I got the Toxic off, but I don't know. You know that I'm not very observant, honestly. But here, obviously he can't go for Volt Switch because Quagsires immune to electrical moves. I want to believe he switches out, but I'm just not sure into what. He sets up in a light screen as well. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that too, honestly, that this damn Zapdos does have light screen, and this can be a problem, especially for my Nidoking, because my Nidoking is a very powerful special attacker, and if this light screen is up, a lot of what he has left on his team might be able to take a hit or two, and then take out my Nidoking and then put me in a very terrible situation. I believe one of the mons that he has on his team still right now is the Donphan and the Empoleon, which, by the way, speaking of the devil, I think here's where he comes, the Pibels. And yeah, this Empoleon, let me just give you a tiny spoiler. This thing kind of ruined this match for me, actually. Not for the reason you would expect, but it definitely ruined it, unfortunately. But this could very well have been my fault as well, because I didn't think of it very well. As you can see, I went for Mudshot on this thing because I was anticipating that thing to come at some point. And yeah, I got some damage, but unfortunately, I completely forgot that Empoleon has the freaking Defiant ability, and because Mudshot, which was a move I put on Quagsire because I kind of wanted it to be solo special attacking as opposed to being a mixed attacker, drops the speed stat of Empoleon. Defiant basically procs it so that he gets +2 attack, and yeah, obviously this put me in a extremely tight situation, and personally I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do here at this point, because I didn't know if I wanted to actually go for more mud shots till the end. That could have probably led to the match going to time, honestly, but I decided instead I'm gonna go for Ice Beams. I'm gonna spam it and hopefully get a freeze. This thing is at +2, but my Quagsire is unaware because I was kind of anticipating one of his mons to be like a setup set. Although it wasn't Empoleon specifically. I forgot what mon I was expecting to have setup, but I did bring the Quagsire for that. But I wasn't expecting the Empoleon to have Defiant because I forgot that it gets Defiant. I knew he had it, but I just kind of forgot again that he can get it and that it was a possible set for this league. But yeah. So here, okay, I think here I got the freeze. I don't remember, or maybe here I was still thinking if I wanted to switch into something, honestly. No, yeah, okay, so yeah, I was thinking if I wanted to switch into something, but because this thing is at +2, I can't switch anything out, obviously, because if I do, then that's gonna be pretty bad for me. So I do get the freeze here, thankfully, a lot sooner than I hoped. So this gives me the chance to do something instead of spamming Mudshot on this thing while it's frozen. What I decided to do was actually take advantage of this opportunity to actually send out Hitmontop, so that way that thing can just close combat it and just call it a day, honestly, and not have to deal with that again. And if he switches into Zapdos, that's fine because I have Stone Edge for that thing anyway. The goal is to force it to force the Empoleon out in a way so I can actually send out the Nidoking freely and just go for Earth Power. And if he still has the Zapdos, I can just go for Ice Beam on that thing, honestly. But unfortunately for me, because my luck is still terrible, this thing thaws out immediately and just takes out my Hitmontop. And because I had Intimidate on this Hitmontop, it raised the attack even further. The light screen is thankfully gone now though, which allows my Nidoking to actually come in and just take it out. Assuming that this Empoleon does not have the Aqua Jet. I wasn't sure if it did or not, but I honestly had no other choice but to send this in, honestly. Because, I mean, I needed to know if this thing had Aqua Jet or not. I didn't want to send any other mon and possibly lose it because of the, you know, Aqua Jet. Plus, I think with what I had left on my team, I think I actually pretty much lost here if he had Aqua Jet, actually. Seeing how he switched out tells me that he thankfully did not have it, honestly, and if he did, then he maybe choked, honestly. But yeah, no, he probably didn't have it, honestly. Actually, in fact, I think he told me he didn't have Aquagen on this Empoleon, thankfully. But yeah, so here I went for Earth Power. Obviously, he switched into Zapdos because he didn't want to stay in on a Mon that's going to outspeed him, obviously. And I think what he wanted to do as well was to set up the Light Screen again, which is kind of annoying, actually. I do believe I take out the Zapdos afterwards with a Sludge Wave, but the problem now is that after I take out the Zapdos, I believe what he wants to send in afterwards is in fact the Donphan to take an Ice Beam and then take out my Nidoking with an Earthquake. Nidoking, not Nidoking. Have I been saying Nidoking this whole time? It's Nidoking, damn it. Jeez, but whatever. Yeah, here comes Death himself. Ready to Earthquake my entire team, which is something I kind of don't want. So I think here, yeah, I have 3 Mons left. So I want to believe that I do sack one of my Mons right now. And that Mon is Quagsire, because Quagsire definitely can't do shit right now because his Empoleon is still there, and if that thing comes back, it's obviously going to put me in another situation where I'm not going to be able to do anything, because at least not without it getting its stats boosted, because Mudshot is like the only attacking move that can really do damage to it, and even then it's not much, while in the process raising its stats, which is not what I want right now. He does go for the Earthquake, and I do believe this is a 2-hit KO anyway, so this Quagsire was definitely death fodder at this point. After he takes out my Quagsire, I believe what I do here is send out Weavile. As you can see though, the chances of me getting this match done now is very remote because of the fact that I only got a minute to do this. And unfortunately, I was still kind of thinking a little too much as to what I wanted to do, because I really didn't want to lose this match, obviously. It does go for the Earthquake, obviously, to take out my Quagsire. And here what I'm going to do is just send out Weavile, because what I want to do is get some damage on this thing before going down, possibly. Because I don't know what set this Donphan is. I didn't pay attention if it was leftovers or if it was like a choice set. But it could have been. Either way, I go for the Icicle Crash here, just to get the damage. The goal is to get the damage so that then I can finish it off with Nidoking. Because the only thing that Donphan can do to Nidoking is just go for Ice Shard. But that's not going to be enough to take it out. So here, I'm going to dish out a lot of damage. And thankfully it does a lot. However, I get something even better that pretty much confirmed me to win basically this match, even if this match goes to time. And that's that I got the flinch, which means that now I can just take this thing out with a Throat Chop and not risk missing the Icicle Crash, and basically take out the, what's it called, get some damage on the Empoleon, and then just send in Nidoking and then win. But unfortunately, because this match is, or this game only has 20-minute timer battles, obviously we didn't get to see that climax, unfortunately. But so yeah, we did win the match, thankfully. Still, the only thing that I'm a little disappointed of, obviously, is just that you know, the match didn't come like to a full conclusion, basically. And unfortunately, my opponent was kind of bitter about it and didn't want to help me like reconstruct that part so that we can actually see how it would have ended, obviously. But it is what it is. Anyways, that's gonna be the match for week 4 of the PAC League. Obviously, this is a match that happened months ago, and I'm gonna be showcasing the rest of the matches. You know, as long as I have time to make them, obviously. Like I said, I'm pretty much doing these matches at my own pace, or I'm showcasing them on my channel at my own pace, because I have a lot of other things to do, unfortunately. I work a lot, and I also play a lot of Smash, obviously, so that's gonna obviously take up a lot of my time. And when I come home from work, sometimes I do get kind of lazy to do either or, so, but when I'm not lazy, it's usually Smash that I do a lot, so yeah. It's because my interest in Pokemon has kind of dwindled a lot lately, especially with the 20-minute timer effectively killing singles, specifically because of the outcomes of these types of matches, like the ones that go to time, you know. But anyways, if you watched this match, thank you for watching, and I apologize if my commentary was a bit muttered in some areas, but it's just that I'm kind of trying to get these done as quickly as possible anyway, so that's kind of the goal. So yeah, with all that said, take it easy and have yourselves a good one.